Hi, Linda Sessions here, and welcome to Linda's Take. Today we are going to take a look at how you can create a PowerPoint video based on a celebration. This is an assignment that I use in my class at university. Let's take a look at the instructions as my students see them. You can see in this activity I want students to create a new PowerPoint presentation based on information that they have researched on the internet. I let them pick their own holiday, and I encourage them to choose some type of a celebration or holiday that is used in their family. I want them to research this holiday or celebration and find at least 4 additional countries and or cultures that celebrate that holiday. You need to have enough information to fill 8 slides. And I want them to get an idea of how other people can celebrate the same event. You can see on this that they have to create 8 slides for their presentation. The first slide is going to be the title with their name. The second slide is where they introduce their celebration to their audience. Slides 3 through 7 are where they talk about the different countries and or cultures that are celebrating this holiday and how they celebrate it. And one of those can be their family. And then finally a closing slide. I want them to use a theme other than office theme. And I also want them to add animation and graphics, add a transition, and add some and then also to add notes to the presentation. So here's one that I did. Based on that, you can see I have 8 slides. I did Christmas around the world. Then I also show them, this is what the slide is with the notes. When you use the note panes, you're adding information to your slide that you don't necessarily want to include on the slide because you want to keep your slides simple and clean. But this is information you want to make sure that you pass on to your audience during your presentation. And you can see I have notes entered on all of my slides. So let's go into my PowerPoint that I created and take a look at how exactly I did it. So you can see I chose Christmas around the world for my assignment, and I have 8 different slides that I used, and I did choose something other than the office theme. Now, to change your theme on your presentation, you would go up to your Design tab, and here are all the themes listed. Now, don't forget, even once you have your theme selected, you could still come over here and change the variance on the theme so you can give it a different color. I chose to use red on mine, as red is one of the Christmas colors. You can choose your theme for your assignments at the very beginning when you start working on your presentations, or you can change it at any time, even after you get it all done. One thing I want to caution you on, when you are changing a theme on an assignment, you need to make sure that you can still see your text and your graphics, because your text and your graphics look differently depending upon the different themes. So if I was to switch this to the gallery theme here, you can see how my graphics are over my text here. And look at slide 3. I mean, that really looks bad. But I can go in and I can move my objects around to fit the theme. So don't be afraid to play around with the theme. Just make sure that you go in and you look at your different slides to see how changing a theme is going to affect how your slides look. I'm going to come up here to the undo button and undo that because I really like this theme. The other way that you can design your different slides is using the Designer tab. So I have my theme chosen, and let's look at slide 2. I've got some smart art here. Up here on my design tab, I've got my designer option over here. Now, on this particular one, they don't have any design ideas. So let's go to slide 3. And here are some different ideas that they suggest that I use for my slide. So I could choose one of these if I wanted to, or I could leave it alone and just leave it the way I have it here. So you can see I have design options on lots of different, on my different slides that I can choose from. Make sure you use something that is you. So here on the second slide, I need to add a PowerPoint, or not a PowerPoint, a Smart Art to it. I just want to introduce my topic using Smart Art. Now you can just use a bulleted list, but I like the way the Smart Art looks. So how do you add a Smart Art to a PowerPoint presentation? Let's go ahead and come to the Home tab, and I'm going to add a new slide, and I just want title and content here. Over here in the middle of my placeholder, you can see I have an option to insert a Smart Art graphic. So if I select that, I can come over here and I can choose a list. I can choose all sorts of different Smart Arts that are available for me. I like the one under Cycle, the hexagon radial. I'm going to say OK. And now I can start putting my stuff, my text in here. So like one of the places I want is my family. I'm going to make that the biggest one. I'm going to put text in because I want Turkey. And I'm looking at Germany. And I'm looking at Europe. And what was the other one? Oh, United States. I don't need these other two placeholders, so I'm just going to click on it and hit the delete key just to get rid of them. You can also add more. So here under the Smart Art Design tab is where you can add shapes, you can add bullets, you can add a text pane. So you can create your Smart Art to look how you want it to look. I also wanted to change the colors on mine. I didn't like the fact that it was all red all the time, so I went to the change colors and just play around. There's lots of different options you can choose from. The other thing that you can do is right up here, you can recolor in your Smart Art graphic. So if I click here, I can come down here, go to Format, Shape Fill, and I can fill it with a color. So you can change your Smart Art to fit your needs. You're not stuck with just the basics, what they give you. I'm going to go ahead and change this one to make it green. And there I have my Smart Art graphic. So there's lots of different things you can do with Smart Art just to make your slides look better. Now when you add animation to your Smart Art, you just need to select it, come up to Animations, and I'm going to choose the wheel. You can see I have the wheel. I can do one spoke or two spokes. I can do as one object all at once. I'm just going to do as one object. And I always change it to after previous. It's always how I do my animations. And then over here on the left, I can preview it to see how it's going to look. And I like that. So that is how I would add my animation to my Smart Art. Now on the other slides in the presentation, you're going to be adding text in a bulleted list as well as information down here in the Notes pane. So if you don't see this note panes down here at the bottom, you can just select this icon right here on your taskbar, or you can go to View and it's going to give you your notes page as well. When I added graphics, I either used the icons or I used the common grounds, so that I didn't have to worry about paying somebody to use the image. You can also use your own images. So you can see here on the Santa, I've got my licensing right here. It's under a common license, so as long as I say that this is where it's from, then I'm fine. Now the icons are right up here. If I go to Insert, I've got icons, and I just typed in Christmas, and I have all these different icons that I can choose from. So you're going to add graphics, icons to your slides as well. Here's another one. You can see I have my common license here listed. In Europe, I wanted to emphasize the joyous Noel, because Noel is Christmas in French. And again, my sack of coal and caroling. Now, when I talked about the United States is where Santa and Santa slaying his reindeer came into play in 1822. That's where, Rudolph came to be. So when I found this sleigh icon here, and when I wanted to add animation, I decided to add a fly-in, because Santa's sled is flying, right? So here under my effect options, I had it from bottom left. I have it set to start after previous, and I increase the duration so it would take a little longer. So now look, when my slide plays for my audience, I'm talking about Santa, and Santa is actually flying in on the screen. So you can use your animations to bring your slides to life, to add a little pizzazz to them. And I also used my own photos as well in my presentation. I talked about my family. I always make picture ornaments for my grandkids every year. And so I just I have an iPhone, I went to my photos, and then I put those in my presentation. Finally, you're going to have a closing slide where you just bring, hopefully, your topic back together. So if I was to actually show my presentation, I could go to slideshow from beginning, and you can see that I'm talking about Christmas around the world. Look at what I am going to be talking about. My family, Germany, Europe, United States, and Turkey are the 5 cultures that I decided to look at. Then I have my information from Turkey. Where did that come from? Oh, remember I added a slide. You always want to preview your presentation. I'm going to right click and in show. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to delete this slide. And now let's start over. So you always want to review your presentation. So here's where I'm looking at. Again, I might speed this one up a little bit, but remember, when you're giving your presentation, usually you end up talking a little faster. So it's nice to slow stuff down a little. You can see I have transitions also as well in my presentation here. Now, you don't need animations on every slide. I just want animations on 5 different slides, but I do want transitions on each slide. So you can see how my animations kind of just brings my slides to life. So as I'm talking, students or whoever my audience is aren't just looking at a static slide during my presentation. And I really like the way I did my animation with my Santa sleigh. And finally, I have what my family does and different things that we do. And then I have a closing slide. Now remember, for the assignment, you must have information down in your notes slides. I require students to do that. Always make sure you check your spelling. It's very easy, as you can see, to create a presentation in PowerPoint and make it yours and have fun with it. If you've liked what you've seen in the video, please subscribe to my channel so that you can find out when I'm going to be posting other videos and other information. And like my videos. And I hope, wherever you are, that you have some sunshine in your life today. Bye.